I slipped a hair tie into Julia's palm, and the school security guard passing by froze and screamed, "How dare you deal substances in my hallway?" I stared at him and told him it was a hair tie, but he was already grabbing our hands and walking us to the principal's office saying, "No one passes pills in my hallways. I'm going to make sure you go to juvie for this." When I told him he saw wrong, he said he'd been a guard long enough to know when a substance deal was happening. Both our moms were called in, and my mom said, "Tell me right now how long this has been going on." Julia's mom shakily asked what she'd swallowed. Then the principal said the police were already on their way to pick me up. The guard got in my face and asked if I knew what pills did to kids my age, and told my mom her daughter would rot in a cell before 20. Mom was crying, asking how I could ruin my life. Julia's mom asked Julia if she was already addicted, but Julia was silently crying, mouthing, "It's a hair tie," over and over. I finally had enough and asked them to play the hallway camera footage. The guard agreed, so the principal pulled the footage up, and the footage showed me dropping a black hair tie into Julia's hand. "Play it again," the guard said, wiping his eyes. The principal zoomed in and played it again. "That's clearly a hair tie," I said. The principal sighed loudly and called the police to say it was a false alarm. I turned to the guard. "You said you've been a guard long enough to spot a deal? How long is that exactly? A week?" His jaw clenched before he muttered that this was his second week. I scoffed and turned to leave with Julia, but before I left, I pulled out a hair tie and grabbed a chunk of the guard's hair. He snapped, "What the hell are you doing?" as I twisted his hair into a tight little ponytail. And then I leaned down, smiled, and said, "Just giving you some substances, sir."